haters, what I'm known for. Starting all these haters, what I'm known for. Fashion all these haters, what I'm known for. I'm the one that queen suckers call the law for.
Catch me creeping down the dark street. This is where me and the zombies meet.
Anthony Joshua has got 4 belts. You've got the 1, and then the way boxing works is you beat him, you get all his belts. That would be the fight of your life. I mean, you would be the undisputed heavyweight champion.
I've already been the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. When I beat Klitschko, I had all the belts.
Yeah.
So as far as I'm concerned, Anthony Joshua's only got my leftovers because I never lost them belts.
Yeah.
I had to vacate them for mental health problems to focus on my...
They're yours.
Yeah, they're my belts.
Yeah, it's just keeping them warm.
Until a man's defeated in a boxing ring, how can you claim to be the champion when you haven't beat the champion?
What's up, Fight Fam? It's Cayden from the Boxing Bros. This video is a reaction to the statements made by Tyson Fury, saying that he's already the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, and Anthony Joshua is holding his titles, saying that Anthony Joshua has his sloppy seconds because he, Tyson Fury, never lost the belts in the ring. Now, the belts he's referring to are the WBA, the WBO, the IBF, and the IBO heavyweight titles. And his logic is he never lost them in the ring, so therefore Anthony Joshua could not win them. So what can be inferred is a champion can only lose the titles in the ring, and you can't become champion until you beat a champion in the ring. So using that logic, Tyson Fury cannot call himself the WBC or the lineal heavyweight champion. And the reason I say that is the WBC heavyweight champion and recognized lineal heavyweight champion retired in 2003, and that would be Lennox Lewis. On June 21st, 2003, Lennox Lewis defended his titles against Vitaly Klitschko. And after that fight, Lennox Lewis decided to retire. After Lennox Lewis retired, Vitaly Klitschko won the vacant WBC title against Corey Sanders. And so, if you look at it the way Tyson Fury presents it, Lennox Lewis retired, never lost in the ring, and then Vitaly Klitschko picked up the belts in a vacant match with Corey Sanders. So, although Vitaly Klitschko won the bout and eventually was recognized as the WBC heavyweight champion, he just had Lennox Lewis sloppy seconds. And therefore, he was never actually the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. Lennox still was. And if that's the case, Lennox was also still the lineal heavyweight champion, which is a weird way of looking at it because those are the 2 titles that Tyson Fury currently holds, the WBC and the lineal heavyweight championship of the world. Now, because of we're using Tyson Fury's theory of sloppy seconds, he can't be the WBC heavyweight champion of the world because Lennox Lewis never lost it in the ring. And he can't be the lineal heavyweight champion of the world because Lennox Lewis never lost it in the ring. And you just heard the recording. Tyson Fury says the only way that a title can be won or lost is in the ring. So therefore, Lennox Lewis is still the WBC, IBO, and lineal heavyweight champion of the world because those are the accolades that he retired with. Do I believe that? No, I don't believe that. That's a load of malarkey, I'll say, just because try to keep this somewhat PG. Now, my personal opinion on titles are that they're more like medals. They're pieces of property, and you have to qualify and you have to meet certain qualifications in order to hold those titles or medals, right? And if you don't qualify and someone else does, then they take that medal or they take that title, and you can't claim it's yours because you didn't lose it in competition. You didn't meet the qualifications to compete. Someone else did, so they took it. And so I'll break it down to you like this. Usain Bolt, the world's fastest man for a very long time, and he won numerous gold medals. Let's say one year he decided not to defend, and he decided not to race in the 100 meters. And someone else did, and they won the medal for that year. They won the medal for that year. Usain can't say, well, I'm still the champion because I didn't lose it on the track. You didn't qualify. You didn't race. You didn't show up. That person did. That person beat everyone else. That person won the medal, right? And it's the same with the titles. It's the same reason why Anthony Joshua is fighting Kubrat Pulev, because it's a requirement to keep the title. If you don't fulfill the requirement, then you get stripped of the title. And then if you don't fulfill the requirement and someone else does, you cannot claim that you still are the champ because you never lost it in the ring or you never lost it in competition. And so for those who don't know the story, Tyson Fury did dethrone Vladimir Klitschko on November 28th, 2015. He won a unanimous decision and he became the champion, taking down Klitschko, who reigned supreme in the heavyweight division for 10 years. He won. He won the titles. He won the glory. He won all the accolades. And he never defended. He never defended. He was stripped of the title in late 2016. And it was ordered that Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko would fight for the vacant belts, which they did on April 9th, 2016. Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko met for the vacant titles, and Anthony Joshua beat Vladimir Klitschko. Now, Tyson Fury's argument that he never lost the titles in the ring doesn't hold any water because you still lost the titles. You were supposed to give Vladimir Klitschko an immediate rematch, and you couldn't due to failed drug tests and depression. So you didn't qualify for the competition, sort of like a medal. You couldn't meet the qualifications, and Vladimir Klitschko was entitled to a rematch. He had that clause, and you couldn't meet the requirement. Anthony Joshua did, stepped in, and beat him. So the irony of this situation is, using Tyson Fury's logic, Anthony Joshua would be more of a champion than he actually is, because he never fought Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis vacated the WBC in a lineal status, which Tyson Fury currently holds, and he didn't lose it in the ring. The belts that were held by Vladimir Klitschko, Fury took them, and then he didn't give Klitschko the rematch. They gave Klitschko his rightful shot to regain the titles back against Anthony Joshua, and Anthony Joshua won. So although Tyson Fury says, oh, I beat the lineal champ, so did Anthony Joshua. He beat him. And he beat him in a fight that should have been Tyson Fury's first title defense. Another interesting fact is Tyson Fury has never defended his title in his career. He's won them, but he's never defended the title. So those are just some things to think about when you start saying that a champion cannot lose his belt unless it's in the ring. Because if that's the case, then Tyson Fury is not the WBC champion, and he's not the lineal heavyweight champion of the world. And if Lennox Lewis came out of retirement tomorrow, he's the baddest man on the planet. He's the baddest man on the planet because he never lost the WBC in the ring. He never lost the IBO championship in the ring, and he never lost his lineal status in the ring. So realistically, what are we saying? Is that true? No. Once again, my view on it is the belts are property. The belts are like metals, right? Metals and property. So if you lease a car, if you have a mortgage, yes, you have the property, but you also have to pay property tax. You have to pay your mortgage. You have to meet certain requirements. And if you don't meet those requirements, they will take your home. They will take your car. You can't say, oh, I own it. You owned it until you stop meeting the requirements. The same with the belts, and the same with medals and athletic competition. Yeah, you're the champion, but there's certain requirements that you have to meet in order to stay champion. Fury didn't meet those requirements, so he lost his championship status. Someone else did. Someone else competed and they won the belts. When it's all said and done, if you follow this channel, you know how much I like Fury. You know how much we like Fury. But this isn't a fanboy channel. So just because I like Fury, just because, and you know how much I love me some Fury. I praise Fury. I made videos displaying how great his comeback was and just how great of a feat him taking down Deontay Wilder actually is and how impressed I am with it. But at the same time, I got to call BS on the statement he made. Those titles are Anthony Joshua's titles. And there's no reason not to fight Anthony Joshua and become undisputed. Because undisputed means you have all the belts at one time. And Vladimir Klitschko never had the WBC. Remember, he and his brother said they would never fight one another. And so they never unified. So Tyson Fury cannot realistically think that he was the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. You got to have all the Infinity Stones at one time in order to beat Thanos. You dig? And so Tyson Fury, you were never Thanos. Anthony Joshua was never Thanos. And you guys need to fight for that. And Anthony Joshua's earned his titles, just like I give Tyson Fury credit for being the lineal and being the WBC, because Lennox didn't have to lose it in the ring. Lennox stopped meeting the qualifications to be the WBC and the lineal heavyweight champion of the world. Tyson Fury stepped up and he fulfilled those requirements, which is why Tyson Fury is in fact the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, and he's the lineal heavyweight champion of the world. And the same goes for Anthony Joshua. Both men are champions. Both men earned it in the ring. Both men are great competitors, and hopefully they'll make the fight. Tyson Fury, don't say that, because if you start saying that, it can backfire on you too. And with that being said, I'm out of here.